Hi all! Today will be an interesting video about bumblebees. Bumblebees are quite large and colorful insects, and interestingly enough, the female bumblebee is larger than the male, which, however, is not so rare in the world of insects. Usually the body length of the female bumblebee is 13 to 28 millimeters, while the male is 7 to 24 millimeters. But some bumblebee species, such as the steppe bumblebee, can reach larger sizes, even up to 35 millimeters in length. The weight of a bumblebee, if it is a uterus, can be up to 0.85 g, but workers will be lighter, from 0.04 to 0.6 g. An interesting fact, despite the absolutely small weight, bumblebees are quite strong insects, and can carry a load equal to their own weight. The torso of the bumblebee is thick and heavy, as for an insect of course. The wings of the bumblebee are small, transparent, and consist of two synchronously moving halves. The beating speed of the bumblebee's wings is 400 beats per second. And the flight speed of a bumblebee can reach 3 to 4 meters per second. The head of the female bumblebee is somewhat elongated, while the male's is triangular in shape, with a prominent dotted line on the vertex and face. Bumblebees also have powerful chewing jaws, which they use to gnaw through plant fibers as well as to create honeycombs. They are also used by the bumblebee for protection. The bumblebee's eyes are in a straight line, and are not covered with villi. The whiskers in males are longer than in females. An important organ of bumblebees is a special proboscis, which serves them to collect nectar. The length of the proboscis depends on the species of bumblebee and varies from 7 to 19 millimeters. Bumblebees also have a sting in their abdomen, but only in females. Males have no sting, and have dark brown genitalia in place of the sting. The sting of the bumblebee is smooth, not serrated and invisible at rest. Therefore, when stung, the female bumblebee retracts the sting, and can sting repeatedly, like wasps and hornets, and unlike bees, which die after the sting. Bumblebees also have as many as 6 legs, and the female has a special basket on the outer surface of her hind tibiae for collecting pollen. The coloration of the bumblebee is usually striped, black and yellow with white, orange and even red flowers. Occasionally there are bumblebees that are completely black. Scientists believe that the bumblebee's coloration is created for a reason, and is related to the insect's body balance and thermoregulation. Nutrition bumblebees collect pollen and nectar from many plants. But they use not only nectar but also their own honey to feed their larvae. Bumblebee honey is more liquid than bee honey, lighter in color, not as sweet and fragrant. Habitat. Bumblebees are found almost everywhere, on every continent except cold Antarctica. They are especially common in temperate latitudes, but there are some species of bumblebees that live even beyond the Arctic Circle in the tundra. A frequent guest of the bumblebee in mountainous areas, but closer to the equator, in the tropics, there are not so many bumblebees. For example, in the Amazon forests there are only 2 species of bumblebees. Also in the early 20th century, some species of garden bumblebee were introduced from Europe to Australia and New Zealand, where they still live today. The flight of the bumblebee. In general, bumblebees are the most cold-resistant members of the bee family. Although they do not like the hot tropics, all this is due to the peculiarities of their thermoregulation, with the fact that the normal body temperature of a bumblebee can reach 40 degrees Celsius, exceeding the ambient temperature by 20 to 30 degrees. This increase in temperature is associated with a rapid contraction of the bumblebee's pectoral muscles. The same contraction is the source of its characteristic buzzing. Nest. Bumblebee nests can be underground, above ground and above ground. Let's dwell on them in more detail. Underground nests. Many bumblebee species build their nests underground, sometimes even settling in the burrows of various rodents. Interestingly, the smell of mice attracts female bumblebees. Also in the mouse hole there is a lot of useful material for insulation of the bumblebee nest: wool, dry grass and other. Nests on the ground. Some bumblebee species, such as the Schrank's bumblebee, forest bumblebee, and field bumblebee, build their nests on the ground, in grass, under plants, even in abandoned bird nests. Bumblebee nests. Nests above the ground. Some bumblebee species prefer to build their nests above ground, in tree hollows, birdhouses. The shape of underground and above-ground nests can be different and depends on which cavity the bumblebees use. Nests are insulated with dry grass, moss, and reinforced with wax secreted by bumblebees with special abdominal glands. From this wax, bumblebees build a wax dome, which prevents lifespan. The lifespan of bumblebees is short and depends on the bumblebee's place in the bumblebee society. There the worker bumblebee lives an average of about 2 weeks. Male bumblebees live about a month and die shortly after mating. The founder female lives the longest. Females born in spring die in autumn, and those born in autumn and surviving wintering can even live a whole year, until the next autumn. Which bumblebees do not build a nest and do not collect nectar. Not all bumblebees are equally industrious. Yes, among them there are also a kind of parasitic bumblebees, or cuckoos, who do not hesitate to take over other people's nests, including the nests of their bumblebee congeners. Cuckoos include 29 species of bumblebees.